He's Eddie Olczyk. How are you, Eddie?
Hi, Rich. Nice to be with you.
Good to have you back. What do you think about tonight's game on the ice, Eddie? What do you have for me right here?
I got a feeling that we're going to see a lot of pucks being pulled out by goaltenders in this game out of the back of the net. I really do, Rich. I think that, Vegas hasn't had much luck here the last couple of games. I think they've had like a total of 5 posts. They had the wide open net in Game 4 early in period 1 for James Neal, and he hits the post. And they played a good first period, and all of a sudden you look up at the board and there's a crooked number up there, and you got a half a snowman. And it's 3-0 after the first period. So, to me, I just think that this is one of those games where Vegas is going to come out. They're going to play with that speed. They're going to generate the chances. The crowd's going to be up for grabs. It's going to be a gong show, and I feel like it's going to be a lot like Game 1. I think there's going to be a lot of pucks put up on the board, and Washington can play that way, but Washington has proven that's not the way that they win. They want to close checking. They want to dictate the terms, and for Vegas, they want to go ahead and so-called play with house money, get up a couple of goals, and force Washington to open up and try to get in a track meet type of game if you're Vegas.
So I want to just reiterate, when you say gong show, you're talking about the game, not the pregame ceremony. Right, Eddie?
Well, you know what? I was a fan of the gong show when I was growing up.
Me too.
Kid watching it on TV. So, no, I'm talking that in the most flattering way. I mean, it's just an incredible experience. Vegas has done an incredible job, this organization and the fan bases. They bought in, right, Rich? We talked about it last week. Like, this is their own. This isn't a team coming from city A, B, or C. Like, this is Vegas' own, Vegas-born, and the city's really excited. And, yeah, they know the Cup's going to be in the building, but, they're a very confident group, and they're just looking at it and say, let's just win one game. Let's just win the first period and go from there.
Heavy Eddie Olczyk of NBC Sports joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Did you guys in the broadcast crew discuss the 2 signs that were placed in windows in D.C. area sporting goods stores? Eddie, have you discussed that at all?
I have not heard about that.
Okay,
no.
I've been breaking news for like a damn week on this show. Yes, 2 D.C. area sporting goods stores have placed signs in the window.
Don't tell me they're selling gear. They're selling championship gear already.
They're not selling it yet. They're letting you know that get in after the win, says one sign, with 6 locations letting you know where championship merchandise will be available. Eddie.
Well, it doesn't say it's Washington Capital championship gear, does it? It might say
hashtag all caps. Hashtag all caps on all signs. Eddie.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's a couple of companies that are pretty confident, I would guess. I mean, that's really what that sounds like.
I mean, were you superstitious when you played?
I really wouldn't use that word. I would probably use more of a routine. Is probably the word that I like. So yeah, I was very routine-y. How's that? Is that a nice word there, Rich?
No, that sounds superstitious to me, Ed. That sounded like you didn't want to. You wanted all your ducks in a certain row, and you wouldn't want to deviate from that plan.
Yeah, creature of habit for sure. If it worked, I drove the same way to the rink. I put on my equipment the same way. I take my stick the same way. I only talk to certain people.
I love it.
So yes, absolutely. Whatever is working. I don't care what it is. For me as a handicapper for horse racing, obviously now for broadcasting, it's a different story. But, look, if it's working, if that blue pen is working, I'm grabbing that thing and it's coming with me everywhere I go until it either runs out of ink or I couldn't pick a one-horse race.
So then I guess since we're routine-y and not superstitious, who do you think, if things do wrap up tonight, would deserve the Conn Smythe?
Well, look, I think it's 1-1A with Kuznetsov and Ovechkin of the Capitals. I really do, Rich. Ovi has been just absolutely incredible, and Kuznetsov's been there every step of the way. Like, if Kuznetsov happens to have a 5-point game tonight, it'd be hard to not look at him and give it to him. But, look, the grade 8 has been just that. So, to me, I wouldn't be shocked if it's either one of those guys. I know Braden Holtby's played really well, but I would look at those 2 guys, 1 and 1A, Probably Ovechkin would get it if things, if Kuznetsov doesn't have a big game tonight. I think just because, and I don't have an issue with it, but Kuznetsov deserves every bit of the accolades that any other player would get for the Capitals because he's just been flat out awesome.
That said, wouldn't you say, though, that this series turned on the save where the paddle is what Holtby put right in front of an open net. That's what. Well, obviously, that would have just tied the game and likely sent Game 2 into overtime. But you really just never know, right, Eddie?
No. I mean, look, if you don't have goaltending, you have a chance to win in the National Hockey League, especially come playoff time. And, that was an incredible athletic ability, a little bit of luck involved as well. Alex Tuck, the player on the Vegas Golden Knights, that shot that puck. He shot it back in to Braden Holtby instead of elevating it or shooting on the short side. But, I mean, look, you will look at turning points. You will look at defining moments. But I look at this series back in Game 1, Rich, where Washington had a lead 4-3 in the third period. John Carlson hits the post. And then Ryan Reeves cross-checks John Carlson in front of the net, ties the game up at 4. Should have been no goal. Should have been a penalty on the play. But missed call. Vegas takes advantage. And then at the end of the game, 5-4, Lars Eller misses a wide open net to tie the game. So, look, it goes in streaks. And right now, I think Washington has realized is that if they're going to win, and how they've won, is they're going to win by checking. They're going to win by how they play without the puck because they know they can put the puck in the back of the net. But for me, this series changed is when Washington realized how they have to play and why they've had so much success in these playoffs so far.
A couple more minutes left with Eddie Olczyk of NBC Sports. You're sitting next to an all-time great, Eddie. Obviously, the players aren't some of the only all-time greats that are associated with this. Doc Emmerich, what in the world is it like sitting next to an all-world broadcaster, watching him perform his craft at such a high level, Eddie?
It's an intimidating chair to sit in. There's no question about that. And you got to be on your toes, and you got to listen because Doc drops in some of the greatest one-liners and some of the greatest stories while play is going on. And, I just remember a game with Detroit in the playoffs a couple of years ago where I think he was talking about, Jimmy Howard of the Detroit Red Wings, the goaltender, and, he's talking about an incredible save, and his goals against average was 2.40 over the course of the last 6 playoff games, and, and the record of the Detroit Red Wings. And, oh, by the way, he got his first set of hockey equipment at the hardware store that his dad owned, or, he got the groceries in the hardware store, and he got his hockey equipment from there. And what a save by Howard. And, he just has that incredible ability to be able to get in and out with a story and never break stride. And, I can't express how lucky I am and honored I am to be able to sit next to a guy like Doc day in and day out, and the stories he's able to tell away from the ring. I mean, to me, that's working next to him in the booth is flat out awesome. But getting a chance to be with Doc away from the rink and have dinner with him and travel with him and just chat with him is he's a great friend. I know he has my back, as I hope he knows that I have his. And I'm thrilled to be able to work with him on a nightly basis.
Well, you guys do such a great job, obviously, with Pierre down on the ice, and then the pictures that come home. It's really great, man. And tonight could be a memorable one for Washington fans. They will never forget this moment, and they'll never forget the moment where they know where to get their championship hats right away. I can't believe that.
What a place to be able to celebrate too. If you happen to win the Stanley Cup in Las Vegas, I mean, that's epic, right? And nobody sleeps there anyways, but
right.
You can go from hotel to nightclub to wherever you want here and never stop. So we'll see if they can get it done. I believe that they can, but it'll be really tough if Vegas does get a lead because that's their bread and butter is to be able to play with the lead and force teams to kind of play outside their comfort zone. But Washington again has done a really good job of being able to keep them intact for the most part, and they've gone a little dry offensively, that being Vegas, so we'll see what happens. But I think they get off to a really good start tonight. And as I said earlier, I just got a feeling I've sharpened up my pencils, and
nice.
I think we're going to have to be putting a few names down on that scorecard tonight.
So last one for you, Eddie. If this does close out tonight, do you go to the Belmont? Will you be part of the broadcast?
Oh, I'm going to the Belmont. Oh, I'm going. I will be there. I will be there at some point. I got a couple of different plans, Rich. As you know, in this industry, you got to fly by the seat of your pants every once in a while. So if the game ends in regulation and Vegas wins, I'll be able to catch the red eye tonight to New York and then get ready for work tomorrow. And if not, then I'll fly tomorrow and get ready for the Belmont on Saturday. So can't wait to get to New York after Game 5 tonight.
And do you think we see history?
Yes, I do.
You did not stutter.
I think he is the best horse. The mile-and-a-half race, Rich, will become a half-mile run. the first mile is just for position and, gallop along. And I think I just think he's the best horse. And I think we'll see that on Saturday. And I'm also going to look at a horse by the name of Hofberg, the number 4 horse trained by Belmont. So I'm looking at 1-4 and all different combinations. But I think we do see our second Triple Crown winner in 4 years.
Well, just because the name of this program has the word show in it, just for those who are interested in showing, after you mentioned a place and a win, Eddie, do you have any idea what you'd like to show on Saturday, just for what and giggles, Eddie?
Yeah, I would probably say the 10 horse Blended Citizen. How's that?
Okay. Well, because you're a Blended Citizen as well, Eddie. I like
1-4-10-8. Those are the numbers.
1-4-10-8. Eddie,
10-8.
Always love our chats. Appreciate it. Enjoy safe travels. We'll chat soon.
Okay. Thanks.
That's Eddie Olczyk. That's Eddie Olczyk.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.